What's good, YouTube? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back, welcoming you to the Friday Night Chop Session with Stormybman for this Friday, July 29th, 2022. And we are here in the series of Chop Sessions, number 162. And we're calling this one, Make Your Move Toward Greatness / Mid-Year Awards. Yeah, so Stormy is going to give you his take on what has happened thus far to the midway point of the year. I was supposed to do this maybe like last week, but it's okay as long as we get it done. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about that a little bit this evening. Kind of talk about some of the news of the week. Not everything, because you've heard so much. So I'll give my take on some stories, and we'll take it from there. Also, we will get into the conversation of you guys letting me know about some of these stories that have been running rampant in the sport of boxing this week, as I take a moment out to open up the call-in lines. So you don't want to miss that. So stick around and be a part of that part of the show, because good things come out of that when we do the call-in. You know, it's not all the time, but something from time to time that we'll do. As you can see here in the bottom left corner of the screen, I've got my little advertisement for the Black Gentleman Grooming Company experience. I want you guys to understand that I am still an official ambassador for the Black Gentleman's Grooming Company, and I like to put that icon up there. And as a reminder, there is a clickable link in the description box where you can head right over there. And if you enter Stormybman, you get 10% off of your next purchase when you go over there and pick up some of those mighty fine products at the Black Gentleman Grooming Company. Yeah, and I also want to remind you, because some of you may have forgotten, we still got the giveaway, Be the 50th person to type in enter to win, in the comment section on any of the videos or live streams, and you be the 50th person, and you get a chance to win this Shaw Brothers brand spanking new packaged bundle of films exclusively for that kung fu lover in you. We got Killer Constable, Monkey Kung Fu, and the Spearman. Yeah, Flag of Iron, they also know it as. So if you haven't had a chance to type in enter to win with your comments, please do so. And know that this is something that is a little bit slow moving. Basically, it's the same couple of guys who are making those comments. So I take it that some of you are not looking to have that opportunity. But understand this. If you can't participate in this aspect of it, then Stormy can't move on to greater giveaways. I'm talking about video game players, tickets for pay-per-views, various things that we can do here. But this is like me trying to crawl before learning to walk, and then learning to walk before taking off running, So it ain't no Usain Bolt if you saying no, to the giveaways. So just know, enter to win is what you have to type. And every time I get a response for that, I respond with what number you are at that stage. Okay, so just know that. We got a lot going on over here. There's a lot of things going on. I just finished listening to a heavy portion of the brother Artman Boxing's channel. He's still live right now, and the brother was really cooking over there. He had this gentleman on there, Boxing MD, I believe the name was, and they were having quite the conversation, speaking about a number of the things that are going on in the boxing world. And I'll tell you something, It made Stormybman feel a little bit hot under the collar listening to some of the comments that were made. I was very active in the chat over there, and I had to cool myself down with a cold drink, because I'm telling you, there's some people out here that it's not that they don't get it, people. They don't want to get it, and they're going to continue to perpetuate that as long as they can continue the confusion. They can continue to enjoy the ride of privilege, bias, and prejudice. Never forget that. Never, ever, ever forget that. So what side of the fence do you want to be on, huh? Because when you mow your lawn and take care of your landscaping, huh, you can see the snakes in the grass, huh? But when you let the weeds grow and you let the crabgrass shoot up and the lawn is unkept, all types of critters can be out there, huh? And you can be victimized. And as my brother Antonio MMA out there is saying, everybody ain't gonna make it, huh? Because they ain't. So if you don't put on those thinkums, huh, as my granddad used to call them, your brain cap, you may as well be over there in that unkept, uncouth lawn. Yeah. But welcome, everybody. Welcome. Are you excited that it's Friday? You excited that we're here for the Friday night chop session? I am. Yeah. And I just want to take a moment out to do that roll call so we can get to some of the people that are out there. As far back as I can go, I can see Antonio out there saying, "Good evening, Sensei." Salute to the chat family. Pop some popcorn and let's have a good time. MPWTF back in the building saying, "Salute, Sensei." Salute, chat family. Yes, sir. Mr. Pac-Man 216 saying, "Salute." Where's the big dog at, Mr. Pac-Man? You can't be cutting me on the words now. Salute, big dog is what you usually say when you come in here. Huh? Shakers and Dice saying, "Salute to Stormy and the chat." KG84 channel members back saying, "Salute, Sensei," and salute, chat family. Yeah. Isaiah Felix in the building saying, "Stormybman, salute." Yes, sir. And I just, a little reminder here. You know what I'm saying? When you type that Stormybman, that at Stormy, it should be all caps. Huh? It still will show up. But when it's all caps, you know what I mean? It's the way, because if you look at how the logo is, it's all caps. Just a little friendly reminder there. Snacks B in the building saying, "Salute, Sensei, Stormybman, and chat family." Yes, sir. MP says, "Smash that like button on the way in. Appreciate you." Yeah. Thrill Hill back in the building saying, "Salute, Stormy B." MP has got those side eyes going there. Yeah. Tay Queen Combat and Entertainment out there saying, "Baby, come to me." Yeah, Tay, I know that one. Know that song. Who else we got out here? Mr. Mechanical out there toasting with the shot glass saying, "Stormy, what's good? What's good with you?" And Mr. Mechanical is out there saluting MP with a toast as well. Antonio said, oh yeah, I read that one already. Devin Blocker's in the building saying, "Stormybman, salute family, salute to you." Tay back with another song saying, "Cause we solid as a rock." Tay, you cannot hold a candle to the songs that Stormybman know. Just letting you know that, huh? You can try, but you got nothing. She says, "Smash that like button." There's Mr. Pac-Man. saying, big dog, there it is. He a little late with it. You see how I pay attention, Mr. Pac-Man? I pay attention, bro. You know, your normal greeting, it wasn't so normal. You just said salute. But I was like, where's my big dog? Jimmy Bernard in the building saying, salute Stormy B, man. What's good, chat? What's good with you, brother? The boxing historian in the building saying, salute Stormy B. Salute to you, boxing historian. How you doing, brother? Yeah. So tonight, we will also go over the mid-year awards, where we talk about some of the bouts and action that have taken place through the first 6 months of the year. There's been so much. So there's really no wrong way or right way about this. But I think that I have a grasp on something to take note of. Also, I want to say this to any and everyone out there that tune in to my videos. A couple days ago, I dropped a video on Sergey Deverenchenko. That video has tracked as my highest video in a 24-hour period ever. I mean, just mere hours after dropping that video, it was in the hundreds. And by the next morning, it was over 1,100. So I don't know what it was about that particular video, if it was the fact that, you know, Sergey being a Ukrainian fighter and the conflict that is going on in the world there. But I appreciate everyone that decided to take a peek at my video and show that love by those views, because I'll tell you something, that is the kind of thing that gets you out there. And when people decide to support in that manner, even if you're telling them something that they don't want to hear or whatever, it's like you got eyes on you. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciated that type of support. Great stuff there. Great stuff. And I will be providing more. And hey, that's what we do on this channel. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about these things. We talk about these fighters. And sometimes it's just good to be able to talk about somebody instead of the same old stuff. And everybody that knows that follow me on this channel, you know, I've got my own little way, and I do things a certain kind of way. It's no disrespect to anyone else. It's just that Stormy keeps his own lane. You know what I'm saying? So, and I see a few people have dropped off when I mentioned that video or whatever, but it is what it is. Some people just come in to hit the like button, and then they go back to puffing on them tweeds and drinking that alcohol and all of that stuff, doing all that raunchy stuff, getting themselves in trouble. But that's okay, because when you stick around, you have something that's solid, for the foundation, something solid to stand on from the Stormy B Man channel. Imitated but never duplicated, right here. You know what I'm saying? So understand that, because that's what it's about over here. We run a tight ship, man. And my real family is my real family. You know what I'm saying? It's like the perpetrators and, you know, imposters. Y'all know who you are. You know who you are. So, but yeah, as we get into talking about some things that are going on in the boxing world. Dodge J out there saying, salute Stormy. We in here. I got you, Dodge J. Jimmy Bernard says, great video on Sergey. It was lit 100. I appreciate that, Jimmy Bernard. I appreciate it, man. That's what I try to do. You know what I'm saying? Bring it to you just like that. But yeah, we talk a little bit of boxing news, man. You guys know that there's been a lot of conversation going on lately, right? A lot of things going on. And one of the things that we've heard a lot of talk and gossip about It's me, Sergey. Antonio says, yeah. Yeah. Sergey Derenchenko, though, not Kovalev. Forget that dude. But yeah, a lot of conversation has been back and forth on Ryan Garcia and the fact that he was calling out Tank Davis after his victory over Javier Fortuna. The braggart and vociferous Ryan Garcia, he who believes that belts don't mean anything, and so do his promoters. But I'll tell you this, when you get belted in the chin, Ryan, you'll find out how important belts are, You can run, but you can't hide in the sport of boxing, man. That's why they got ropes around the four corners. You can run, but you can't hide. All that talk about trying to get Tank Davis, and we all know that he's not interested in fighting Tank Davis. He's interested in trying to continue the process of building his brand off of another fighter's name. That's all that is. And it has already grown woefully tiresome. Tiresome. We are sick of it, man. Yeah, we are sick of it. And the thing about it is, Floyd Mayweather, the way that they're handling Tank Davis, they know exactly what they want to do with Tank. And they'd be more than willing to put Tank in there against this kid, but they already know what the game is. And if Oscar De La Hoya could stay sober for a few seasons, maybe something could try to get negotiated, but in between falling off the wagon, and showing up glassy-eyed and everything, Oscar doesn't have a clue because he's been found out. Tank Davis is the money man down around those divisions, of lightweight to junior welterweight and super featherweight. He's the man. Now, he may not be the champ, He has a title, the WBA, but Devin Haney is the champ, undisputed, by the way. But as they would try to tell you now, all of a sudden, unified undisputed champions don't mean anything anymore. Is that because it's not who they want? Or is that because who they want can't be, Ooh, did I say that? Yes, I did. I did say it. There's plenty of smoke. The logs are on the embers and they are crackling. Ryan is a novelty act. He's a basket case. He himself had declared himself with mental problems, which is nothing to play with. So I say, without much therapy, why should we take him serious on anything? And then when you look at his handlers, Hopkins and De La Hoya, where's the confidence in someone of substance, not substances, to substantiate the young man's career and guiding him properly? Joe Goosen has got his work cut out for him. But in boxing, you can be treated as a slab of meat anyway, so Joe is going to make his money. He going to do what he can to make his money. But there's not a lot of money to be made in a fighter who doesn't fight elite competition or top tier competition. Beating up on has-beens and never-weres and hopefuls isn't the way to go about it. JMJ2121 out there saying Stormybman and live chat. Salute to you, bro. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while, JMJ. Smash the like button as you guys come into the building. So, as long as Floyd is going to oversee what happens with Tank Davis, you can believe they are not going to allow Oscar to hoodwink them, huh? When the demand was made, hey, it's at 135 and we fight you immediately, all of a sudden the backstroke, back pedal, the moonwalk, everything like that start coming out of Golden Boy's, repertoire. So just let it be known, again, this is all posturing. And that's what that is. And you know what? We've seen that before, right? Last year, several times over. The Pacquiao thing, talking about Tank on Mike Tyson's show, and talking about Devin and everything, but nothing, huh? He was on the beach and on a yacht and everything with a young lady, but he wasn't in the ring with nobody. So Garcia, go sit down somewhere, son. Go sit down. Now, one of the other stories, by the way, that we need to talk about a little bit is this story that came down the pike about Jermell Charlo and David Benavidez. Oh yeah. Huh? This is the one right here. Jose Benavidez Sr. wants Jermell Charlo to stop talking and sign the contract to fight David, his son. And according to Boxing News 24, the undefeated Jermell, who's 32-0 with 22 KOs, is the one that Jose Sr. wants for his son, former two-time WBC 168 champion David, who's 26-0 with 23 KOs, and he wants them to fight next. In a positive sign, Charlo said on Wednesday that Benavidez is one of the guys he would like to face next. However, the 32-0 Jermell also mentioned wanting to fight Gennady Golovkin, who's got a fight with Canelo Alvarez coming up. Oscar De La Hoya, who's been retired, from boxing for not only a long period of time, but he's been retired from boxing because, he just can't stay clean. And you know what I mean. Demetrius Andrade and Chris Eubank Jr. as well. No mention of Danny Jacobs. Funny, huh? Because do you guys remember their encounter from a couple of years back where Danny ran up on him in that corridor and told him he was touching M's? He's been touching L's lately too, but hey, shouldn't Jermell want that smoke too? I think so. Yeah. But Showtime president Steven Espinosa says Benavidez is the easiest one to make out of the fighters on Charlo's wish list. Trying to get the 40-year-old Golovkin and 49-year-old De La Hoya to fight Charlo is unlikely to the extreme. The article goes on to say it's important that Charlo face a quality opponent for his next match because he's gone through a 6-year dry spell in which he's fought middle-of-the-road opposition in record-padding fights. Now, you see how they say these things about certain fighters? You could say that about Canelo, too. But see, we know that there's a different complexion here when you talk about differences between Maul Charlo and Canelo and Triple G, huh? But nonetheless, it says, Jamal has got to take a break from the lesser opposition and face Benavidez if he wants to make the big bucks and potentially earn a fight against the big tuna, Canelo Alvarez. Now, I could think of a big name to call Canelo besides tuna, but then I would offend a lot of people. I'll do that at another time, not tonight. Charlo isn't going to excite the boxing public in seeing him fight Canelo if he's facing guys like Masek Selecki and Juan Macias Montiel and Sergey Deverenchenko. At least Deverenchenko gave it the old college try. He didn't come in to lay down. That's for certain. That's what we're trying to do. Look impressive to get those Charlos. Imagine the two brothers. That would be insane, said Jose Benavidez Sr. to Fight Hub TV about his desire to make David Benavidez versus Jamal and Jose Benavidez Jr. against Jermell. Jose, who's 27, 1-1 with 18 KOs, is fighting 34-year-old Danny Garcia. Damn, Danny that old now? Man. This Saturday on Showtime, but it's going to require a win over him as well as one of the top contenders at 154 for him to earn a title shot against undisputed champion Jermell Charlo. He better stay the hell away from Jermell. Jermell and Jamal are two different sorts, man. They're two different sorts. And you gotta be able to understand that if you watching boxing. Yeah. Huh? Teach is in the building saying salute Stormy B man. Jason saying what's good. Jimmy Bernard says, Sensei, why is today's fighters afraid of losing? Boxing greats have lost. I just don't get it. That's because the networks and promoters are trying to sell them on being undefeated, as if it all will come crashing down if they were to lose a bout. I listened to a DAZN interview earlier today where these two brothers, Ak and Barak, talked to Eddie Hearn, and he actually lied to them in his interview, stating that although the rematch between AJ and Usyk is a dangerous fight for AJ, he's admitting that 2 losses in a row to Usyk would be quite damaging for AJ. It wouldn't be the 2 losses to Usyk in a row that's damaging to AJ. It's the management and mismanagement of AJ that is damaging to him. Had Hearn been putting him in against stiffer opposition when he was a few years younger so he could learn some things, whether it's win, lose, or draw, instead of trying to have a monopoly on the heavyweight titles, AJ would be in a better place. That's a perfect example of how a promoter and manager, and remember that AJ just recently, as last year, signed a lifetime deal with Matchroom. Remember? He sold his soul, and his butthole to them. So look at him now. So if he did lose it all, it really ain't a loss for any of us as boxing fans, because we could see the writing on the wall. How about AJ when he was stating that he didn't need to leave the UK, he didn't need the USA? He called Lennox Lewis, the Hall of Famer, a clown. When Lennox said, if you really want to cut your teeth, come to America. A couple of losses later, here comes AJ asking for training assistance from Robert Garcia. But I thought he didn't need the US, I would have sent that guy on his way. He came over here and went to 25,000 gyms across the US. And he picked Robert Garcia. I've talked that this man is a mental midget and he never lets me down. Never. Anyway, I digress from the article. Jose Jr. won't get that fight from beating smallish Danny Garcia because of A, he's not a 154 pounder, and B, he needs a victory over a top contender like Sebastian Fundora. Hopefully, Jr. takes care of business on Saturday against Garcia. And that's what we're going to have if that happens, said Jose Sr. I have a message to the older one, Jamal, that the one that is trying to go to 168. He just posted that he wants to fight David and wants to fight Boo Boo. Man, shut the F up and let's make this effing fight happen. Let's make it in November. It's an easy fight to make. Shut the F up. You're talking a lot of ish. Let's make it happen. We're here and ready to go, said Jose Sr. about his hopes to make the David Benavidez versus Jamal fight. Jamal has backed himself into a corner with his behavior and his lack of being prepared to be a top flight fighter and represent in a proper way. I'm not impressed with Jamal, and I've even looked toward considering him on that famous list that I have. Yeah, you heard it right, people. You know, Stormy, I always put it out there. What's real? What's fake? And one of the things that's definitely real is the consideration about Maul and what he doing right now. Yeah, all that talking he did recently, embarrassing himself on the Mike Tyson show. The guy's moving the wrong way, people. He's moving the wrong way. And he needs a little help. He needs a little push. And you know, Stormy, I'll give him a push. I'll give him a push. Trying to catch up to you guys' comments here in the chat. Snacks B says Lennox would probably kick AJ's behind today. Ain't no probably. What you mean? William says, I promise I won't fall asleep again, Stormy. Hey, William, sometimes you got to rest them old bones, bro. I'm aware of that. Them old bones. Keep telling you, you can't pretend. You can put on a good face, but Father Time is undefeated. Jason says, I have no sympathy for AJ. He wanted to freeze Wilder out and then allowed them devils to bully him when he spoke on black issues. Hey man, AJ riding around in a golf cart full of orangutans did it for me. When I saw that, I just washed my hands. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I don't care if he spoke like Malcolm X for the rest of his life. I'm done. Okay? And he's done, especially in boxing. Come on, Usyk, is what I got to say. Yeah. JC is out there. Jimmy Bernard says AJ should have went to Shield as a trainer. Yeah, Ronnie Shields, Buddy McGirt, anybody. You know what I mean? William says AJ wanted a trainer that would teach him and kiss his ass. Snacks B says Maul gets saucy and runs his mouth on social media. Yeah. And that's fine. But see, the difference in him is he's the one that got to get in the ring, right? So the boxing world is watching, huh? Yeah. This ain't no street thing. This is your profession here. And you're totally misrepresenting. That's why I got a special for y'all tonight. Check this out. Hot off the press, huh? You guys know what I said about the Yellow Jackets, right? Well, welcome, will you, the newest member to the Cowards, the Yellow Jackets. Are you ready for this, people? Are you ready? I need to ask you, and I need a response from the chat. Are you ready for the new member of the Cowards, huh? If you ain't ready for it, I ain't gonna share it with you. But we talked about this, right? Mikey was the last one, huh? Yeah. Canelo before that, huh? We had Loma and we had so many of them. They just, they're here. They're here. And I could put one out every day of the week, but I like to just hold back on that a little bit because it's something that Stormy does, hey, it's for special content, huh? But with no further ado, since William says, let's hear it. JC says, I'm with you on that. 88 Sports Talk in the building. I see you, bro. Snacks B said, yes, sir. Okay, fellas, here we go. The newest member of the Cowards, the Yellow Jackets. Now, what did we say about that, huh? In golf, when you win the Masters, huh? They put you on that green jacket, huh? The green jacket, huh? You've mastered the greens, huh? But the yellow jacket, huh? Speaks volumes on people who might have a yellow streak in them somewhere. Yeah. So I present to you the newest members of the Cowards, huh? See it right there on the pocket, right under the little stanky hanky. It says the Cowards right there, huh? Yeah. He looks pretty proud too, don't he? Forgive the Michael Jackson-like powder on his hand, huh? I couldn't change the color of the hand, but you have to understand that he stands with his back straight and with dignity, huh? Yeah. Now, his brother would never be caught in a yellow jacket. And I hope that his brother don't get too angry with Stormy, because I have given him his roses, huh? And continue to do so to this day. But this one? Nah. You see, I told you. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Huh? Now he went on Mike Tyson and he was like, well, Mike, it ain't like in your day, we're friends and, friends ain't got to fight each other. And we were like, what? What? Mike said, why don't you go fight the big guy, the Mexican monster? He ain't no monster. Prove us wrong. Nothing. Crickets. Then this week, he goes to talking, dropping names, huh? Yeah, he starts saying stuff like, yeah, I want, X, Y, Z, and him too, and him. And I'm like, damn, I'm writing the names down. I'm like, he said that guy too. But I said he didn't say Danny Jacobs though, did he? Huh? Funny. And Danny is touching L's now. So he was touching M's, but he's touching L's now. So that should be one that you want to see, right? But no. This jacket is tailor-made for this brother right here. And I don't care if y'all go to his channel where he do his show and all of that. I don't care. It's just going to give me more views. And that's what Stormy need right now. Huh? But look at it though. Huh? Don't he look good in it? He shouldn't, but he do. It fits. It fits. Yeah. Huh? Put it in 1080. You can see it real good, huh? For y'all who got high def. Huh? Yeah. Jay Gibson was asking, who getting their jacket tonight? JC says, he's cracking up. 88 says, damn. Antonio says, every one of these MFs pisses me off. Yup. Snacks V says, damn. That's right. William says, I definitely can't disagree. I used to have faith in Jamal, but he is going down the wrong path. Listen, bro, he done went to the dark side, huh? He's a Sith Lord now. He's a Sith Lord. And Mel is a Jedi, huh? Conquering and everything, huh? Outstanding lightsaber skills. This dude is all in Palpatine's face, huh? Yes, my lord, and all of that stuff. Whatever, man. Go sit your butt down somewhere. Huh? Yeah. 88 says, Stormybman is back hurting us. He's hurting. Listen, man. I don't be wanting to do this, but you have to tell the truth on these guys, bro. You gonna sit up and pretend? Because you know what? I want him to get so mad that he get his ass in the ring and start fighting some people, huh? And if he think he gonna fight me, he a damn lie. Cause I'm too old, huh? But I can definitely light a fire under him, huh? And next time he come to the ring, instead of wearing that fur and stuff on his outfits, he should wear this jacket, huh? Or at least the opponent should be across the ring from him, holding it up, saying, hey, bro, when we done, you got this one, huh? Yeah. That's right. Yeah. The Cowards jacket. Tailor-made. Huh? Now imagine him and Canelo both got a Cowards jacket on. So you know they ain't even gonna face each other, man. They ain't gonna face each other. So there ain't no disproving who's the coward or not. It's like we're in an elite group. An elite group. Did you hear me? An elite group. Jimmy Bernard says, Danny touching L's. That's a classic. He is. A couple years ago, he was boasting to Jamal's face, I'm touching M's, huh? Well, now he's touching L's. That's what, again, that should be sharpening Maul's teeth, right? Like, oh, okay, I need him. Because he was so high and lofty before, so now he done come back to earth a little bit, maybe I can reach him, huh? Yeah. Yeah. William says, Jamal has gotten comfortable and has no drive to be better. He is nothing like his brother. You could believe that and say that again, bro. You could believe that and say that again. Huh? Snacks B says, standing there like Braxton P. Hardenberg. Snacks B says, hello there, Broham. Antonio says, he can call me out. We ain't gonna do no boxing out here because I ain't no boxer. Take down and smash, buddy, easy work. Listen, man, he got shooters, don't he? Huh? Well, in the shot, we got plenty shooters, huh? Plenty shooters. Just ask KQKC, huh? He'll tell you about it. Hey, what? You got a gun? We got a few guns. It don't matter. You got guys? We got hundreds and thousands of guys, huh? Sometimes they call them gangbangers, huh? Sometimes they call them, agents of chaos, huh? What you want, huh? What you want? Yeah. This is the shot, man. Scarface hometown. What? And you ain't gonna see no yellow jackets running through the streets of Chicago either, huh? You might see a dude dressed in red, huh? Them dudes that wear them red Easter suits, man, I can't stand them. We got a few of them. They always walking around the city. And don't nobody say nothing to them either because it's usually an OG, huh? Them red and lime green suits, huh? Do you know how bold you gotta be to wear something like that? Because people gonna be talking about you, but they ain't gonna say it to your face. Only a dumb youngster would say something to a man's face like that. He'd say something and be like, oh, hey, old fool, what you doing with that red suit on? Pew, pew, pew. That's what you'll hear, huh? Yeah. And you know what? I forgot because I could have did this, right? That's the shot for you right there, huh? Yeah. 88 says, I don't see the hunger in his eyes no more. That's why Jamel has the hunger. That's why his little bro is more successful. Yep. Antonio says, amen. All this, ATL, I am like to brag, but man, please, my peers just crash dummies. Miss me with that. Yep. William says, 88, you are right. He doesn't have any drive. Antonio is saying Al Heyman has babied that man. And we talked yesterday about them throwing Mel Taylor in there with killers. They ain't throwing them all in there with nobody that can knock his ass out. Man, say that again, bro. Say it again. Man. Yep. Antonio says it's 2022. Everybody got a gun though. Yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying. They was talking about they got shooters and stuff, right? And William says, Stormybman, man, 90% of NOLA is packing. Listen, man. I don't know about the percentage in Chicago, but it's pretty damn high. You can turn on the news report right now and somebody got shot 5 minutes ago. Okay, so what? Shit. What? It's the way it happens, bro. It's the way it happens. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys, because y'all love Maul, huh? You love him so much that you fall under the spell, huh? He got you all fooled. He ain't got me fooled, but he got y'all fooled, huh? But I thought I'd share that with you. You look up there and see him with his custom fit jacket, huh? Custom fit. Yeah. JC is rolling laughing. Yeah, man. So yeah, we're gonna get on into this the awards show, man. Talking about the channel awards, huh? You talk about the Stormybman channel awards. Got a few categories, huh? We got, for the first 6 months out of the year, we got Fight of the Year, Fighter of the Year thus far. We've got KO of the Year. We've got Upset of the Year. And then we have Coach of the Year. Yeah. So as we go through that, I'm going to share with you my thoughts and everything. And like I said, there's no right or wrong here, huh? But as far as KO of the Year, we can talk about that one a little bit. William says, 88 Sports Talk says, William, I look at Jamal like he literally just happy what he has accomplished, and that's nothing. And Canelo successfully took the drive out of these dudes. Andre too, just standing around doing nothing. Yep. JC says, I'm not fooled. Anthony Jones out there says, salute, brother Stormy. I can't cap for him. He may have hit a peak. I think he liked to get drunk or something. Hey, whatever, right? Antonio says, hey, William, man, I had a dude from NOLA. He had been shot, told me he was with his son when he got into a shootout. Man, I was in 10th grade when that happened. Reese Bruh in the building saying, salute Stormy B, Wrenches in chat. Salute to you. So let's get to the KO of the year. My pick for KO of the year is Cordina versus Ogawa. Now, in this fight, Ogawa came into the fight, the Japanese fighter and champion. He came into this fight with the reputation of being a real puncher. And I'll tell you, Joe Cordina was looking to be the guy who would be he would be the guy expected to box his way to victory. And Ogawa was going to be a dangerous fighter as far as his punching power. After a first round that saw them feeling each other out a little bit, Kenichi Ogawa comes out in the second round, and Cordina flicked the jab in front of his face and dropped the right hand right over the top. Boom! Just totally separating Ogawa from his senses, man. What a knockout punch that was. And it was definitely a big time knockout. Nobody thought that Joe Cordina could punch like that. And nobody thought that Ogawa's chin was that poor. But there was a combination of something in the stars. Now, the good news is, if he wants to unify, he can come see Shakur Stevenson, huh? And I say come see because it don't appear that Cordina may be able to leave the UK, huh? So, if he wants to unify and get a step closer to undisputed, Shakur is that man. Now, do I think that Joe Cordina poses any threat to Shakur? Absolutely not. If you thought that Oscar Valdez took lumps, Joe will take even more, huh? Because he's been told that he's a tough guy now, huh? And you know how the UK, they build their fighters up. It's like, oh, man, you knocked that dude out, man. You're the greatest since, Willie Pep. Don't you believe that? Don't you believe that for one moment, huh? Yeah. Eric R is in the building saying salute to Stormy B, man. Salute to you, man. Haven't seen you in a little bit, Eric R. So that's my KO of the year. KO of the thus far, 6 months into the year. There's Cordina starching this guy. Now, my fight of the year. This one was pretty good, man. My fight of the year is Lee Wood against Mike Conlan. Now, I thought about a couple of other fights, but this one was pretty damn good because it had something that reminded me of a fight a couple of years ago when we had Zepeda and Baranchik, huh? And it was like 8 knockdowns and 5 rounds. Well, these two guys, they did the same thing. Mike Conlan had Lee Wood down early in the fight. I think it was the first round. Had him down on the canvas. And they talked a lot of jibber jabber to each other. And Lee Wood was so hurt in this early portion of the fight that it looked like Mike would be on his way to a stoppage. And Conlan is not known as a puncher, so the fact that he got to Wood so early in the fight, either it says something about Wood just being caught cold, or his chin was terrible. But Wood did something that a lot of fighters do not do, people, to turn the tide of this fight. He immediately started going to the body of Conlan. Okay? Conlan can take it up top on the chin. He's shown and proven himself to have a chin. He cuts a little bit, but he can take a solid shot. But Lee Wood put on a body attack that eventually dropped Conlan to a knee. And then when he got up from that, he looked like he was tapped out. But, he managed to finish the round and everything. But then here comes Wood again with a barrage of shots that rocked Conlan late in the fight, got him back into the ropes, and then Conlan did a Bernard Hopkins, huh? He dove out the ring. Well, he didn't dive. He fell out the ring because he was unconscious when he went through the ropes from a barrage of shots that a good right hand from Wood totally anesthetized Conlan, and he went through the ropes, and that was all she wrote. He went to the hospital after the fight and talked a little crap on social media, let everybody know he was okay, but he had suffered a KO loss. So in the UK, they over there they make sure they take you to the hospital. They treat you well. And a few hours later, he was like, I'm good. I'll be back. You know what I mean? So great victory for Wood, though. Now, I'm not saying Wood's going to beat up anybody, but man, did he beat up Mike Conlan. And a lot of people wanted to see Mike Conlan beat up. So it's like it served a dual purpose there, right? So, first 6 months in the year, a fight like that deserves its merits because you had ebb and flow, Both guys touching the canvas, both guys hurt, and then a knockout. It was a good fight. And a lot of people didn't see it because it was on DAZN. A lot of people don't watch DAZN. But every time I see a fight like that, I'm glad that I'm tuned in, because those are kind of the things that you just don't see coming. Just like the Cordina over Agawa fight. You just didn't see that coming. Huh? So great job by Lee Wood. We'd like to see these guys maybe do it again after a fight in between one another. So let's get on to the upset of the year so far. Huh? Now, this one right here, man, you guys know because I talk about it a lot. But man, let me show you this photo right here. This is, I love this. I love this. This is one of the best photos in boxing history right here. Huh? Dimitri Bivol wins over Canelo Alvarez. Huh? Yeah. Now, this is the thing. We all were victimized going into this bout because we thought that Canelo had picked this man who was going to be a cooperating patsy. Huh? We thought that he was going to like just take a payday and maybe, you know, bow out to Canelo. How wrong we were. Dimitri Bivol came into that fight and was like, as he said, leading into the fight, he was like, this is a small guy. He was like, I don't think there's anything he can do to beat me. He talked about it. And boy, did he light Canelo up with combinations and movement, and kept his hands busy, kept his hands up to protect himself as Canelo looked to just launch power punches. Huh? After the victory, Dimitri even said that he would go down to 168, where Canelo reigned as an undisputed champion, and said he'll fight him in a rematch there. That's game. That's gangster. He said he'll go down to his house and take his dinner. So Canelo looked and said, you know what? Where's Triple G at? Huh? After saying he would never fight Triple G again, which I always thought was a lie. He was just aging Triple G out even more. So the higher probability of getting a stoppage of Triple G is what he really was aiming for. Huh? That's what he was trying to do. He didn't fool me. But Dimitri Bivol, that's a whole different story, man. That dude was pounded like the slab of meat that Rocky was punching on in Rocky. Huh? Yeah, I loved it. Dimitri Bivol became a hero, a man that was saluted in the boxing ranks. You know, for us that do content, we were all like, man, you know, salute to Dimitri, huh? I loved it, man. And besides, when you could get a photo like this of Canelo under total submission, hey, it's perfect, huh? Yeah. So hats off, huh, to Dimitri Bivol for the upset 6 months into the year of the year. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Now, as we move forward to the fighter of the year thus far, there was some candidates to put on, you know, there's some familiar faces. But I'll tell you something. There's one guy that everybody really need to pay attention to, and his name has been mentioned a lot lately. But you really have to pay attention to the accomplishments and how the accomplishments take place. Let me go back to the chat real quick. William says, Bivol rode Canelo like the jackass of boxing he is. There you go, William. Say it again. Teach says, the disrespected. Yes, there you go. Eric R says, I was so mad about that fight, I made a rookie mistake. I took Bivol to win in 12, not knowing that decision doesn't count. He had to stop Canelo. Teach says, the disrespect. Antonio says, take Canelo off the pound for pound. He proved he's not when he went up in weight and lost. He's not pound for pound. There you go. Antonio is laughing. Picasso says, I'm early. Eric R. says, you want payday. William says they tried to pass Canelo like he was a thoroughbred, and instead it was just a donkey of jackass. 88 is cracking up too. Oh man. Picasso is saluting. Eric R. says, that's my fighter of the year. That's right. 225 Boxing Talk percentage says, fighter of the year gotta be Devin Haney. Picasso says, salute. Listen, man. Surprisingly, no, the fighter of the year is not Devin Haney. Because Devin, just because he went over there against all odds, as Tupac sang, and took Bozo's Circus tent down, that doesn't equate for fighter of the year. Because we kind of had a feeling that Devin was going to be undisputed as long as they fought him, right? It's like that's why everybody was avoiding the guy. But no, the man that you really need to pay attention to is Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, the fighter of the year this far, because you know why? In his last 2 fights, Stevenson has beaten 2 world champions that were so-called touted, Jamel Herring systematically took Jamel apart, didn't lose a round, took his heart, okay, and his title, and his friendship, beat that ass, as they say. And then Oscar Valdez here receiving the 200th jab to his forehead from Shakur in the 12-round fight that I still feel that Shakur should have stopped him to humiliate him further. You ain't going to hear from Oscar Valdez for a while, just like you didn't hear from Mikey Garcia after Earl Spence showed him, what to put inside a burrito. That's right. Because Mikey liked to eat. And he came in there a little pudgy, and Earl hit him all in the dough. Well, in this fight, Shakur kept them jabs and right hands, doing his thing. Yeah. That's it. Picasso says exactly, Stormybman. Antonio says, they asked Canelo, did any point in the fight did you think you were down? He said no. Well, that's what concussions will do to you too, Don't forget, he gets punched in the face for a living. And Bivol did a lot of punching that night, Canelo took some punches that night. He did. That's why he was at the bar singing karaoke and everything and gambling at the slot tables and everything. He was trying to find himself. But you know what? As Teddy Pendergrass sang, you can't hide from yourself. Everywhere you go, there you are. Everybody should have just held a mirror up in front of his face wherever he was at, to see them bruises that Bivol left on his head. 88 Sports Talk says, Canelo went vegan. Boy looked tired. Yeah, Antonio says Shakur deserves it. He does, man. Eric R. says, wow, Stormybman Shakur over Charlo? Interesting. I'm listening, Sensei. Well, listen. Remember, Charlo went for undisputed. That was a great stoppage that he got over Brian Castano. But we're talking about the fighter of the year thus far, first 6 months into the year. And in his last 2 fights, Shakur beat 2 world champions to take those belts off. There should have been a decision in the first Charlo fight, but the fact that he knocked Castano out in the second fight, that warrants a consideration for knockout of the year, which he could still be a candidate for by the year's end. But I just think that Shakur, boxing the way he is, is setting a different type of precedent with his abilities and skill set. There's nobody at 126 that can do anything with this kid right now. And if he moves on up to lightweight, he could be favored against some of the guys at lightweight that he would face. That's a scary thing. Super featherweight, that's what I meant to say. Picasso says Shakur be the guy who clearly took pads. Yep. Eric R says, yeah, I agree. Shakur should have stopped Valdez. When you proclaim you want to make a statement, you do that by closing the show. And I think he will as time goes, because, you know, that's the type of criticism that could motivate him. He shouldn't take it as, oh man, I can't please people. You could have stopped Valdez. Valdez was a broken guy after 2-3 rounds, man. Antonio says Shakur exposed the whole scheme and blasted Oscar out with no problem, not even a scratch. Eric R says cool boy Steph under the radar had a great year too. Yeah, Eric R. But the year's not over, right? And listen, I said that there's no right or wrong way. This is Stormy's list that he compiled for this point. So don't get in your feelings and everything about that, because it's not a slight at anybody, but you have to pick someone. That's who I picked, you know? So, but yeah, Steph has had some great runs right now. He's like beating 9 people, 10 people in a row, something like that. But yeah. Now, trainer of the year or coach of the year is like hands down Derek James. Okay? Derek James. If people do not want to give this man his credit, shame on you. Derek James has made some tremendous strides in coaching and boxing, man. When you look at what he's done with young talent like Frank Martin, you look at what he's done with Jermell Charlo, who's now undisputed, Earl Spence Jr., who is a unified champion, one belt away from undisputed, and you look at the way his fighters perform. They're defensively responsible. They're heavy in the offense. They stop people. They break people down. They listen to his instructions. And when they listen to his instructions, the fights come out almost like easier, but it's never easy. But it's just that the man knows what he's talking about when he coaches. And I don't like the fact that they don't want to give him his credit. He has done so much for the sport and for the fighters that he works with. Derek James is, you have to take your hat off to him. An incredible coach. You know? Yeah. Antonio and Teach both agree. Antonio says, it ain't even close. He has a real threat in Frank the Ghost Martin. His work speaks for itself. And he says they're not leaving fights cut up and all bruised. Yeah. Defensively responsible. This is the art of hitting and not getting hit. Punch placement is great, but also hand and arm placement to ward off shots and to keep yourself safe or safer from dangerous shots that are coming in. James teaches this. It's a craft. And a lot of coaches leave out the defensive part of things. Incomplete fighters will find themselves in trouble getting in there with someone who is capable of having great offense themselves. But if you look at James and how he works with his guys, they're mindful of defense. Very much so. Eric R. says, never thought I'd see another Emmanuel Stewart in my lifetime. Coach James would definitely have Stewart smiling from heaven. He's doing a great job. He's doing a great job. And those are the type of things that you just have to hang your hat on at the end of the day, knowing that this man being so successful at what he does, you know, so I have to say it. I have to say it. And you guys, you share this show and put it on social media and everything so a person like Derek James can see that, because that's the acknowledgement. And other people feel the same way. They'll say, you know what? We do need to speak about Coach James more. Give him his flowers like we're supposed to. Huh? You got to do that, man. Got to do it. So, just know. Antonio says, Sensei, he still trains himself as well. That man is a real crafty guy. The way Earl remained in Uga's chest, but literally wasn't taking heavy shots, but rocking Ugas with every punch he landed. Yeah. There's a craftiness to that. It's a lost art. The young Evander Holyfield, when he worked with Georgie Benton, that's what Georgie taught him to do. Be able to stand right in front of the guy and get your shots off and not take damage in return. Georgie Benton was a master of that. And Derek James knows a little bit about that himself. And you can see it in his charges that he works with. Don't be on the receiving end. Don't be there for the receipts. Huh? Get your money and get out of there. It's the kind of thing you have to pay attention to. The subtleties, people. The subtleties. So yeah, but those are my candidates for the mid-year awards on the Stormybman channel. I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit and know that hey, you know, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. But yeah, we're gonna get ready to open up the phone lines. So anybody want to call in and talk about the awards? If you want to talk about what was discussed earlier in the show, some of the news that I dropped or whatever, you want to talk about, you know, something coming up on the horizon, is a fight that are coming up tomorrow night. Showtime, huh? Because what we got tomorrow, we got the Garcia versus Benavidez fight. And I'll tell you something. This fight might not go the way you guys think it's going to go. There's a good chance that this fight turns out to be highly entertaining. I look forward to it. But it's a great matchup, because you got two guys who are kind of in a place where they want to see where they are. Now, I know Danny wants to see where he's been off for a long time. But Jose Jr. might be looking to make a name or a statement here. So this could turn into a grudge match easily. Once one guy hurts the other or hits him with something, and he'd be like, I ain't going to take that from you. And it's on after that. Yeah. Antonio says, man, if Danny can let his hands go, he could do something. Danny is a pretty boy. He likes to look good. He likes to keep himself in a certain place. But I'll tell you something about Danny Garcia, though. And a lot of people don't talk about this too much, but that damn Danny Garcia can take a punch, bro. He got a good chin, huh? I mean, he's been in there with some guys who can crack. Earl, Thurman, Porter, you know. He can take a shot. So Benavidez, he ain't gonna just get him up out of there with a punch. He's gonna have to try to break the guy down or something. So it's a good fight. It's a good fight, and I like the fact that two men like this are trying to fight each other. Because like I said, going in, you could say, well, one guy is kind of laid back. He ain't been fighting often. The other guy came off a real serious injury with the shot to the leg and all of that, but he wants to, and he says that he's good now. So let's see it. Let's see them go in there and beat up on each other. You know? William says Danny Garcia definitely has a good chin. Eric R says Benavidez needs to box and tighten up. Danny got a chin next to Canelo. Great eyes, Sensei. Yeah. Yeah, that dude can take a shot. That's what kept him in a lot of fights. He took a shot and still be fighting. It's like, man, you know what I mean? But yeah. So hey, man, the phone lines are open. Anybody wants to call? You know, I'll leave them open for a few minutes, but if you guys are not going to call and participate in that aspect of the show, I'll shut it down. But yeah, just the opportunity to talk a little bit more about what we discussed thus far, or even if there's something else, you know what I mean? Subject wise, you know? What about that fight that's on the horizon about Andy Ruiz Jr. and Luis King Kong Ortiz? That's an interesting fight. Huh? Interesting fight. Good fight. What we got here? Antoine Richardson in the building. He says, salute. What's good with you, Antoine? Okay, we got a call. Okay, we got 267 in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind? (267) Can't hear you, bro. Okay, we got 504 in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind?
This is William, Stormy.
It's who?
William.
William. Hey, what's good with you, William? How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm tired as hell, but I'm calling anyway since nobody else would.
Yeah.
So, let me tell you. You think Canelo's ever going to take the rematch with Bivol?
No.
Neither do I.
No.
He's going to avoid Bivol like the plague.
Yeah.
And what I'd really like to see, as much as I hate Triple G for ducking Charlo, and Charlo ducking everybody,
right,
I'd really like to see Triple G knock his ass out.
You talking about knock out Canelo?
Yeah.
So would I. And, you know, as we get closer to that fight, I'll give my breakdown and reasons why and how it could actually happen. This could really blow up in Canelo's face. And I think so. I'll just give a quick hint of what I'll have to offer.
Okay.
Triple G can fight like Bivol if he chooses to. If he chooses to. He has just chosen to fight in the way that he has, but he can still do that. And it might benefit him because Canelo got bad wheels, bro. He got bad wheels. He can't get out of the way. And the Bivol fight proved that.
Yep.
So if Triple G trains to throw in volume and not necessarily with power, because he's heavy-handed anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if he looks to execute with more volume, because remember, Bivol, nobody thought about Bivol's style. But that damn busy style, keeping your hands on somebody, dude, that is annoying as hell for a guy who wants to try to catch you with timing shots and stuff like that. Because they don't never know when they'll get the break in between the action. And if they do just try to go for broke to open up, they're still getting nailed. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it. So, but I love the fact that the Bivol fight happened before this third fight, because if that did not happen, if it turned out to be another solid victory for Canelo, or if Bivol decided to lay down like Kovalev did, yes, I'll say it, Kovalev laid down, took the money and laid down, but Bivol didn't do that. So that inspires other people. They be like, oh, well, see, if you stand up to him and put some leather on his ass, this what can happen. You understand? So, yeah.
Right. Look, Triple G, I saw some of his earlier fights. I went back and watched. He fought differently when he was younger.
There you go.
He threw with a little bit of volume back then. Now he's gotten to the point where he's just kind of going to stand in there and bang with you.
So
not
William,
to get out of the way either.
So William, let me ask you this: since you did do that for yourself, would you not say that what I just said is a proper assessment of what Triple G could possibly do?
Yeah, exactly. I
said he can fight just like Bivol. He can fight just like Bivol. Their styles are quite similar. It's just that one is a puncher and the other is a boxer puncher.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win out of Danny?
You know what? That's an interesting fight there, because we don't know. Jose Jr. looked horrible in his last fight. I thought he lost that fight.
Right.
And Danny been off for a long time, so we don't know what type of, we don't know what type of inspiration Danny is coming in with. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if he's going to really give it a go, or if he's just, he's going to show up and try to look good but keep himself safe and stuff like that. Because Danny ain't hungry. He ain't starving.
No, he's not. I was about to bring that up too.
Yeah,
he does not look hungry.
Yeah, and if a guy's not hungry, man, this ain't where you want to be. You understand? Because the wolves are circling,
Same thing with Jamal Charlo. He's got the same look, like he's there to get a paycheck. Hopefully, notice I said hopefully win the fight. Not try to win the fight, hopefully win the fight.
Yeah.
That's the way both of them look to me.
Yeah.
And Danny started looking that way, I'd say, damn, I want to say right after the Errol Spence fight, but he looked real average against Errol.
Yeah.
But then again, Errol has a way of making people look average.
Yeah. See,
but anyway, that was it, Stormy.
Yeah, well, hey man, I appreciate you calling and kicking off that conversation, because again, with Bivol, man, And Canelo, remember, Canelo thought that the Floyd Mayweather loss and the closeness of fights against Erislandy Lara and Austin Trout, if he could stay away from those stylistic boxers, people wouldn't be able to put together a game plan and blueprint against him, because, you know, a lot of people can't do what Floyd did, but those other boxers like that, as long as he stays out of their sights, you know, he'll be good. But see, Bivol brought something a little bit different. Bivol brought the point of, remember, he wasn't trying to knock Canelo out. He was just trying to be busier. Right. He was trying to be busier, stay on top of him, and then in the championship rounds, he didn't let up.
Right.
He wasn't happy to be there. You know, he was like trying to win, and that made a difference.
Exactly.
That made a difference. Yep. So now other fighters could look at Bivol and be like I said, Triple G could look at him and say, well, I used to fight like that. I can do the same thing. Because remember, in the first 2 fights, Triple G was trying to get him to stand there and trade with him and try to knock him out.
Right.
But if Triple G decides to come in there and just get his punches off, work the body a little bit, hey, there could be something in cooking, you know?
Yeah. He's looked, I don't know, Stormy, his last 3 fights, he's looked slow, he's looked old. He just hasn't looked like Triple G, you know?
Yeah. And he doesn't fool me. I know that he wanted Triple G the entire time. It's just that the plan was to age Triple G out and then take the fight with him once he reached a certain point and be like, go in there and try to knock him out. And then, like, if he gets the knockout, he can say, well, he capped the trilogy off with a KO to really, you know, affirm who's the best.
Right.
But I'm telling you, fighters like Triple G that could still punch and everything, he's always got that puncher's chance. But I'm telling you, if he goes back to his earlier career and just let his hands go, he's got to be in condition to go 12 rounds. And if he just lets his hands go, make sure he put in some body work, put them jabs in Canelo's face. Because, you know, Canelo like to do this thing where he puts his hands up, right? And he's in front of you, and then he'll try to bob and weave or counter off or slip, you know, and counter off of that. But if you're running the numbers, as we say, which is throwing combinations, he can't get in the rhythm of that.
Right. Well, me and a friend of mine were talking about Triple G, and our friend was like, you know what? He said, think about it. He said, Triple G's avoided Charlo. You know, he's avoided basically everybody at the top of the division and more than likely he did it because he didn't want to lose his one chance of getting back in the ring with Canelo.
Maybe
he's saving it all and looked bad on purpose in his last fight. My friend brought this up. Maybe looked bad on purpose in his last fight to give Canelo some confidence to make the fight.
Well, one thing is for certain. In his last fight, he hurt that Japanese fighter to the body, something awful. It was like when he hit that guy to the body, all the fight went out of the guy. But he also landed a punch to the guy's chin that even after the fight was called, the Japanese fighter Murata, he was over there flexing his chin, like doing his mouth, like stretching, because he was hurt. So, you know, Triple G put a hurting on that dude, you know? So the punching power is still there. Yep. I don't know that a guy would, you know, try to look bad on purpose, but he may not be at his best under certain auspices because he just knows he's better than who he's in there with. But I don't think he would try to look bad on purpose. But I do understand what you're saying. It's like the lure is to, if he's not at his best, maybe Canelo will take the bait and think that, well, he wasn't at his best against that guy who was a world champion. Maybe he won't be at his best against me too.
Exactly. That's what my friend was saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, Joe. Hey, Stormy, I got the grandkid in the other room. I'm babysitting again tonight, so.
Oh, you better be cool, man, with that grandbaby. You know, last time he was all in your toolbox and everything.
He's in aggravating my son right now, so that's good news.
Well, I tell you, it's never boring, is it?
No, hell no. And he knows I'm old. He's like, I heard him telling my son, Grandpa ain't gonna get up. Grandpa ain't gonna get up. I said, don't even go there, buddy.
Boy, I tell you, that's something else, man. And he don't think you can hear him either, do he? He's like, he don't realize that grandparents have even better sonic hearing than the parents do. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll let him know I heard him too.
Yes, sir. All right, well, man, I appreciate your call, man. You take care.
You too, man.
All
Later.
right, peace. That was William giving us a call, man. Great call, William. Man, that grandbaby be in there causing all types of havoc, man. I say last time he was in the toolbox. Boy, I tell you, that's something else. Hey, 267, whoever that was calling 267, can you call back? I couldn't answer your call once William's call came through. When you originally called, I couldn't hear you, but maybe things have cleared up. You can try it again if you want. 267, they're called. But yeah, great call there from William. Grandpa ain't gonna get up. Yeah, Antoine, ain't that something? He gonna sit up there calculating, you know, what's gonna happen and what ain't gonna happen. Well, them kids, boy, they'll try you, won't they? They think they know everything. And you catch them in something, they be like, how'd you know? It's like, how did I not know? Boy, I tell you, bro. Man. I got this Joette Gonzalez and Isaac Dog Bay fight replaying on my monitor here. I'm glad that Dog Bay was able to pull that fight out, man. You know, it's a shot in the arm for his career. So salute to Isaac Dog Bay. But yeah, man. Lines are still open, people, so if somebody else want to call, you know, please call on in. I see you out there, Watcher. What's good with you? I got your emails too, bro. Appreciate you. Watcher be keeping me up on things, man. Appreciate that. Anton saying, how are you as a whole, Stormy B, man? What do you mean, my health and everything? I'm holding tight, bro. Holding fast. I'm in the battle, huh? Have good days and bad days. You know what I mean? But my mind is strong. Mind is strong. So. Eric R. says he was sizing Grandpa up. Like Bernie Mac said, looking at me like I'm short or something. Yeah, right. Them grandkids, bro. Yeah. Anton says, hang in there. Yeah, man, I'm hanging in there. Yeah, I sprung something on you guys tonight, though, right? With that yellow jacket, right? Y'all wasn't expecting that one. I know. But this is how we do it, you know? Always keep a little something in reserve. Keep a little something in reserve. But no, as I was talking earlier before the phone call started, I was talking about King Kong Ortiz and Andy Ruiz Jr. This is a good fight. Very interesting fight. Styles. Boxer puncher against boxer puncher. Southpaw against orthodox. I don't believe that Andy has the single punch punching power that a King Kong Ortiz may have, but his hand speed could make a difference in the fight. But King Kong is definitely a fighter who knows how to fight orthodox fighters. If Andy doesn't or isn't versed against southpaws, he may run into some real problems. He had some problems early against Chris Arreola and was almost even dropped, but I'll tell you, King Kong Ortiz is no Chris Arreola. He's a far better fighter, even at his advancing age. But I do believe this is a good quality heavyweight fight. Very good quality every fight here. Eric R says, every show is a classic, Stormybman. You got the gumbo. You got the glow in my Willie Hutch voice. Hey, man, I appreciate that, Eric R, man. We try to do what we can over here, It takes a certain type, man, to enjoy my fare, because I'm kind of like that adult humor, but I can still get a little silly sometimes with it too. Okay, we got 267 back in the building. Who's calling? What's on your mind?
How you doing, Mr. Stormy B, man? This is B-Mac.
Hey, B-Mac, what's good with you? I couldn't hear you that first time, man. Sorry about that, but you're all good now.
I'm all good. That's good. Okay, I'm back home from Jamaica, back in Philly.
Oh, okay. How was it?
Yeah.
How did it end up for you?
Jamaica was nice, but they don't know too much boxing.
Yeah.
All they know is cricket and track and field.
Yeah. Well, you can't mess
One
with
guy
them.
knew boxing. That was it. One guy.
Well, you can't mess with them in that track and field either, bro. That's a whole different thing there.
Hey, I work with a lot of Jamaicans, and they brag. I'm a track guy. That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
I wasn't a good basketball player, and Jamaicans are good, but when they get to the next level, let's say college, they're not as dominant. We got the biggest tracking event in the United States at the Penn Relays, and I've been going since like 1986.
Yeah.
And the Jamaican high school team dominates. And when they make it to the next level, college, they don't dominate.
Right.
Matter of fact, they don't dominate high school level when they make it to the Pan Am games with the U.S. teams. When they put the U.S. team boys, that's the All-Stars,
Yeah.
they dominate the Jamaicans.
Okay.
Always.
Okay.
Now, Jamaicans will win some, but they don't dominate like they do the rest of the school because, number one, they take track serious. Number two, it's the best of the best of Jamaica, where, the United States is just a raggedy, it's just different high schools.
Right.
And you're not going to get 4 kids that's the best of the best in the state on one team. And then the Jamaican kids are older. They're from 14 to 19.
Okay.
So you're dealing with all of that. They're good though. They're not bad, but they're not dominant. You can see in this last World Championship where the women were good in the sprint races, but the men, ever since Usain Bolt, they've been getting dominated.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
yeah, but back to boxing. You got Danny Garcia, right? He fights tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night, Danny's taking on Jose Benavidez Jr.
Yeah, man, I'm starving for a fight. That should be a good one. That should be something. Give me something to look at.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that Danny just, because of how long he's been off since the Earl Spence fight and everything, he's not hurting for money or anything. And I kind of question what his motives are. It's like, because I don't think that Danny is hungry anymore. You know what I mean?
He's not. A lot of guys not. When they're doing better at other things other than boxing, they got other things going on, It takes the hunger. And I'm here, and I see what he's doing. He made some good business moves, and he makes money. And the same thing with J-Rock. He made some good business moves, and I think he should stay out because I don't want him to be hurt. I think he should leave the boxing alone.
You talking about J-Rock?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I walked in. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, J-Rock. He's been stopped really badly a couple of times, you know, and it's like at least 3 times, and that's not good, you know. It'd be different if he had been like, you know, winning and then got stopped late or something. It's like, but no, he's taken a couple of bashings,
beatings,
you know, and
his last fight was horrible.
Yeah. So
and that tells me something's going on upstairs because he was winning the fight first 4 or 5 rounds, and then after that guy beat the hell out of him. Right. Beat the brakes off him.
Right. And that fight against Banana kind of went the same way too, you know?
Yeah, that was a heavy, man, I actually, a couple years ago before he ever fought, what's the big guy name from Maryland?
Hurd.
Big guy, Hurd. I walked in the gym I used to go to in Philly, and they were sparring. Now, I didn't know Hurd at the time, because Hurd wasn't the name like he turned out to be. And I didn't really know J-Rock either, but I looked at him spar. They were tearing it up. And Hurd spars better than he looks in the ring with the cameras and lights on. He looked good. Big, so I seen him in the locker room. I said, good work, young fella. And I'm 6'2". He was damn near my height.
Yeah.
And wide like a tank. I mean, chisel.
Right.
So my trainer, he fights, and he's chiseled too, but he fights at 154, 147. And I said, young fella, what you fight at? He said 154, and my face just dropped because I'm 200 pounds and 6'2", and I was like, damn, you look like you're my size.
Right.
Yeah, he was chiseled, and I said, "Oh, D, you got to fight this guy." And I guess that's why he could take his pressure, because he already sparred and seen his pressure before. And J-Rock that's why he had that good fight.
Yeah.
Because they sparred, they tore it up.
Yeah, well, Hurd, and that's another guy that's been out of the ring a long time. I don't know if he's decided if he's gonna come back or not or whatever, you know, but yeah, you can't see, and these guys, they think because they make a little change, because they're making a little bit more than guys made from a different era, but activity, man, means a lot. And when you're inactive and you have fat camps and stuff, all of that leads to a faster decline, because you have to understand, and I try to stress this a lot when I talk about boxing, that people forget about the punches that the fighters take in the gym.
Yeah,
you know?
yes.
They forget about that. You just see the guy when he's coming out to defend his title or challenge for a title or whatever, but you ain't seen the weeks and weeks of sparring where he was getting hit on the chin all the time, and when he get into the main event fight and he getting hit on the chin, and you like, oh damn, he took that shot, you know. Well, the trainer that was working with him in the gym, that wasn't reminding him to move his damn head and everything, he was taking that for like 6 to 8 weeks, if not 12 weeks in the gym.
Man.
You see?
You're right, Stormy.
I talk about that all the time. I talk about it all the time, because people they see what's in front of them, but they don't know what it takes for the guy to arrive in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you just heard me mention earlier that Derek James is Coach of the Year thus far for me, 6 months into the year, because of his 3 charges, Martin, Charlo, and Spence. Not only are they defensively responsible, but by being defensively responsible, they're not taking the damage that a lot of other fighters are taking. And they're constantly in condition. You have to be in condition in boxing. You have to be. It makes all the difference in the world.
People don't want to put in that work, what you're talking about, condition, because I was an athlete growing up. I ran track, I played a little basketball, and I did other sports workouts, but I never did boxing workouts till I was grown. And I had no problems doing any kind of work. Even when you're not even getting hit in sparring.
Yeah.
Everything hurts about boxing. Everything. It's the most gladiator, most difficult sport to train. Everything. It's nothing. It's no. You don't even gotta spar for it to hurt.
Right.
You don't have to do that. You can do the calisthenics. You can do the pad work. You can do the bag. Everything hurts. The run. Everything. Everything is just. It's just you got to be in. You gotta have the right mindset for that. You gotta love it.
Right. It
And
makes a difference.
You go in there half stepping. If you go in there half stepping, you get your head knocked off.
Right. And that's why, like, I used to work with guys in the gym, and I would, my forte was, I would tell them and say, anybody could ball up their fist and punch the other guy, but not everybody could get out of the way of that other guy trying to hit them. So what I'm going to show you is how to not get hit by that guy and still do what you want to do to him. Mm-hmm. So that means that there were layers of instruction and teaching that went along with that. The art of hitting and not being hit. And then
footwork is everything.
And then when you make it fun to someone where they really buy into it, it's like, wow, I'm enjoying this. This is cool. Yeah. I remember when Oscar De La Hoya originally left, Roberto Alcazar. That was his first trainer as a professional. Okay. And he went with this other Latin trainer. It was an older gentleman. I can't remember his name at the time. But he had taught De La Hoya how to be a little more fluid in his movement. Mm-hmm. And, that was a nice build for him. But then when he got with Floyd Mayweather Sr., he started talking about, man, Floyd is teaching me how not to get hit. And, I'm doing this stuff and I'm standing right in front of people and I'm blocking shots. And he was very excited, enthusiastic about the things that Floyd Mayweather Sr. was teaching him. He was talking about it, right? See, that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. When you can get a guy excited about something because he can see what you're sharing, what you're teaching, and it manifests itself, and then that becomes a thing where they gain more confidence in what you're telling them because they can see it working for them. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's true teaching. That's true teaching. And that goes a long way. A long way.
Another thing he was excited about under Floyd Mayweather, Power, and Bernard was he didn't know how to beat speed. Right. And they was telling him, you got to time it. It's all timing. And he didn't know that. I couldn't believe he didn't know that. A guy at his level. Well, at that time.
It depends on who he was learning from. You have to understand.
That's true.
There's a lot of guys, and I say it all the time too, and I don't say it to be insulting, but I say it because everybody that's working in the corner and everything, they're not a coach or a teacher or trainer. It's like they're a second. They're a chief second. Mm-hmm. But when you're able to learn something, when someone is actually teaching you, and then they can build upon what they're teaching you so that you can, you learn to carry this rock this far. But when you carry it that far, when you get to that point, you learn that there's a turn. And when you get to that turn, you have to know what you're going to do when you go around that bend. You know what I'm saying? It's like a step-by-step process. And in boxing, that process never stops. It never stops. In certain sports, it will, because a basketball player can only learn so much of how to dribble, how to shoot with both hands, you know what I'm saying? How to properly pass the ball, how to defend and move his feet when he's defending and stuff like that. Those are the basics and essentials that you might be athletically gifted more than another guy, which may give you more speed or more strength or power or whatever, but though you're all still dealing within the same thing. But in boxing, it's a whole lot different. It's a whole lot different.
Yeah. I'm going to the gym tomorrow. I call it the doghouse.
Yeah.
If it's 90 degrees out there in the gym, it's about 120. That's how hot. They got no air in there, no fans, no nothing.
Yeah.
It's the doghouse, so I'll go in there after this vacation I done already took, so see how it is. But I don't know what other topics you was hitting at.
Well, I talked about the fact that Maul Charlo, being a guy that he earned my yellow jacket because
I came in the middle of that. Yeah.
He's avoiding this competition out there. And I said the guy he should be really going after. He called everybody's name. But the guy I think he should be going after is a guy he can really make hay against, and that's Danny Jacobs.
Yeah, I always wondered that. Like, why didn't he take that Jacobs? That was the perfect time to take it when he ran into Jacobs in New York.
Yeah, and it's still good
and
time.
He looked shook.
He did. And even now.
I was shocked to see him look shook because Jacobs to me is not an intimidating guy at all.
Not at all.
I mean, he can fight, but I don't look at I know tougher guys. If I see Jacobs, I ain't scared of Jacobs. This guy got a Jerry curl, man. Come on.
Yeah.
But Jamal looked shook, and I was shocked. A guy like a Jamal scared of Jacobs because he's talking? I don't care if he in New York, he got a bunch of security around. They ain't letting nothing happen.
Listen, man, that's a fight. Shocked. That's a fight he should be trying to make and take, because it would be instant gratification with a victory over the guy, because Jacob's name is a lot stronger than his, believe it or not. But even though Jacobs is off the scene, it's like he's still, that's a guy that,
a name.
Yeah. And see, you put a fight like that together and you be successful in that, then you go after Demetrius Andrade, or then you go after Benavidez. But you have to, there are levels to this, and we talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like, you do gradual things. But
these guys don't want to put that work in.
They don't. The inactivity tells you alone, man. These guys, they sit up on the shelf for 8-9 months, and then they come back saying, I'm fighting in December or whatever, and I'm going to do this. And then they go back into hibernation for another 8 or 9 months. It's crazy. And why should people get excited about that? Why should anyone get excited about that?
Now, I looked at boxing in the 80s, but I never paid attention because I was a kid. I never paid attention to the details the way I am now, the way you break it down. Were they running from each other like that in the 80s? And
absolutely not.
Big breaks?
Absolutely not. Guys were taking fights on short notice. They were fighting more frequent. You had guys that were fighting like 4 to 5 times a year, and those were not champions. Those were not champions. And then you also look at it like this. And fighters will fight each other for the right for a title shot, meaning like if I'm ranked number 7, I fight the guy that's number 5 or number 4. You understand? And it's like you get that you get that when you get that opportunity to do that, it bumps you up. And so guys fought with much more incentive. You know what I'm saying? So that makes a difference. It makes all the difference in the world. These guys today, they don't have a clue. Some of them have been paid and awarded more handsomely, but at what cost? You see what I'm saying? It's like at the cost. Exactly. The legacy of the sport is being watered. It's just, you know what it's like? I'll give you a perfect analogy. It's like taking a kid out of high school that has potential, and you make him a pro and you give him $1 million contract. Well, you know that once you do that, all the learning stops. The only learning he gonna do now is he gonna learn that his money is gonna grant him privilege, but it's not gonna make him a quick study. If he's gonna be a quick study, he's gonna be a quick study because that's naturally who he is and how he was raised. But if you're talking about somebody coming from dire circumstances and conditioning, that goes out the window, because the money is gonna make a lot of things easier.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, 78 always said, he said, if you want to see a true person, I'll use that. He says, just give them some money and see how they act.
Yeah.
And that's true. Yeah, that's their real true self. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting when these college players, and I think they deserve the money, but at that young age, in that atmosphere, in the party atmosphere, and getting that amount of money, how are they going to react? Are they going to listen to the coach? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm not even saying if I could do that. I think I got a good head, but you give me $1 billion and I'm 18 and I got a bunch of girls looking at me.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
It's only human. Yeah, it's only human. I'm not perfect.
It's tough because, you know, again, that's why if you got a great coach and trainer, they're going to remind you of things constantly. They're going to remind you of things constantly. Maybe even to the point that you decide, I think I need a new trainer or coach because I can't work with this guy. He's always on my neck.
Yeah.
And
that's what Lawrence Teller was.
And if that be the case and he decide to go somewhere else, you let him go somewhere else because you got to have a rule of thumb. But I guarantee you the one who will wish that he hadn't made those moves will be him, not you.
Yeah.
You got to set the example.
Lawrence Teller said that. Yeah, Lawrence Teller said that about Bill Parcells. He said he was riding him so heavy at every play when he first became the coach. And he told Parcells, short story, he said, look, if you want me to give it all now or on Sunday, which one you want? You only get it one day. And Parcells told him, we'll see. If it works Sunday, off you. But if it don't work, you gotta listen to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And usually the coach or trainer is the one who's right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't want to hold you up. You may got other callers. I don't want to block up everybody.
Well, it's time to shut things down now. I'm at my 2-hour mark right now. So, but I appreciate
you was on 2 hours? Wow.
I only go 2 on Friday night chop session.
Yeah, I missed the 3 Kings on Friday. You, Kurt, and Scrapbook. I missed that, man.
Yeah, the 3 wise men. Yeah, well, Scrap and I we do work in collaborations together. He's doing something specific right now that requires his attention. Okay. He's releasing his top 10, in his opinion, of every weight class and everything. And he's giving exposés on that, and he's got some other stuff that he's doing. But yeah, he and I still collab. But you know, that's something. The 3 Wise Men was a show that again, you know, we're very proud of that, and it's a very classic thing. We miss Kurt immensely. Yeah. But we still try to uphold that integrity of what we do with that show, you know.
Yeah. I'd like to thank you for passing the information on to Kurt, because he did call me before he passed.
Oh, really? Okay, great.
Yeah, he did call me, and I was shocked. And I gave him my God number that can help him out. I don't know if he made the call, but I gave him all the information. And he sound real excited. He said, "Oh," I said, "Yeah, you got some hope, brother." And I gave him the number of the guy, but I don't know if he connected with the guy or not.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then when I heard, it was like a couple days later when I heard he passed, it broke me. I didn't even listen to any boxing.
Yeah, wow. Kurt was a special brother, man. I never got the chance to meet him in real life, but he talked to me behind the scenes. Yeah, because he was in Newark and I'm here in Chicago, you know, but we would talk like we were friends from grade school. You know what I'm saying?
I thought y'all guys grew up together. I knew you was in Chicago, but I thought y'all crossed paths and y'all knew each other.
No, it's
personal.
We never got that chance, but he was a special individual, bro. Special.
Wow. Yeah, he was. I used to love listening to him on Blue Blood. I would strictly listen to Blue Blood because of him.
Yeah.
And I like Blue Blood. Blue Blood's the hardest working man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's the hardest working man. He come down to Philly. He be at the gym I go to. I mean, he's nonstop.
Right.
He's nonstop. But yeah. But I don't want to hold you up. You said your 2 hours is up. It's been a pleasure.
We're going
to call you in the future.
All right, bro. I appreciate your call, man. You take it easy. Have a great weekend.
Okay, you do the same.
All right. Peace to you.
Peace.
All right. That's B Mac up there calling. Great call, man. And great way to round things up for the show. Finished up strong. I really appreciate that, being able to finish up strong. You know, we do things out here, man, and we don't even realize the lives that we touch and everything. So that's one of the reasons why I try to keep the show at a certain level of decorum. I mean, we get a little silly here sometimes and crack jokes and stuff like that. But you never know how inspiring you can be or inspirational you can be to someone. And we try to do some things that put us in a position for that. So just know that that's how we do it. You know what I mean? That's how we do it. Makes all the difference, bro. Makes all the difference. So, yeah. A successful show, though. Another successful show. We do our thing out here. Appreciate everybody out there, man. There was a few people holding back on the likes, man, but that's okay. The ones who matter know what to do, huh? The ones who don't, won't. So, we know that. As Canelo would say, I know that, you know. But yeah, we're going to get on up out of here, guys. We'll check in tomorrow night with the post-fight show after we check out Garcia versus Benavidez. And, you know, I know my man KQKC going to do a fight call, and then I'll be on after he wraps that up for the post-fight show. But salute to the mighty LDBC. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. Stormybman signing off for now. Peace, and everybody remain safe out there.